Oh, so you've bought a house? If that's true, I'd like to live with you. My mother-in-law suddenly said this over the phone, which caught me off guard. She must have heard about our new home from my husband. I could hear my sister-in-law laughing quietly in the background, thinking I wouldn't notice. Honestly, I have no desire to live with my mother-in-law and her family. I thought my husband felt the same way. But now that they know about our new house, are they assuming we'll all live together? The thought that my husband might be planning something with them worries me. But I have no intention of giving in to their wishes. If they're trying to control me, I'll turn the tables. After all the challenges I've faced, I'm determined to stand up for myself. My name is Lily James. I'm 28 years old and work at a big financial company. I married my husband, Larry, 2 years ago. We don't have kids yet, and that's a choice we made together. We're both focused on our careers, working hard every day to move up. We agreed to think about having kids once our careers were more settled. It was a serious decision we made together, sharing our honest thoughts. We do want to have children someday, and as we get ready for that, I remember all the struggles I've been through. One day, after successfully completing a big project at work, I was officially promoted. My salary was already good, but the promotion made our lives even more comfortable. Larry didn't get a promotion, but he did receive a nice raise because of his long service. With both of us earning more, I felt it was time to make our dream come true. So, I brought it up with Larry. Larry, I want to talk to you. Over the past year, both of us have had steady incomes. I think it might be time to think about getting our own home. What do you think? Is it time already? Larry's voice was full of excitement. I've been thinking about it too, but since I haven't been promoted yet, I was a bit hesitant to bring it up. Don't worry about that. It's not like only one of us has to be the one making money. I was thinking we could build the house in my name. Really? Well, you do earn more now. If you're okay with it, let's build the house in your name. All right, let's do that. Let's go see some model homes on our next day off. Sounds great. We shouldn't miss this chance. I felt really thankful to have Larry, especially in moments like this, when we share the same values. The next week, we made an appointment to see model homes as planned. We looked at different styles of houses, imagining what our own home could be like. On weekends, we started drawing simple floor plans together, doing research online. During a recent visit to a construction company, they suggested that instead of leaving everything to them, it would be better if we had a clear image of what we wanted for a more satisfying home. So Larry and I started creating that image. However, neither of us knows much about architecture or design. Even with research, it takes time to figure things out. While taking breaks, we kept working on it. Then, the doorbell rang. I thought it was a delivery, but when I opened the door, my mother-in-law was standing there unexpectedly. Mom, what brings you here so suddenly? I asked. My mother-in-law sometimes drops by without notice. She gave me a sharp look, then took off her shoes and walked into the house without saying a word. I'm here, Larry, she called out. Mom, what's up? Larry looked surprised. Did you have some business around here? To Larry's question, his mother looked a bit confused. Yes, I mentioned it to Lily over the phone earlier, but it seems you didn't know. Oh, I see. Maybe Lily forgot to tell me. Seems like it. Lily, even though she's still young, has a terrible memory. That's not true, Mom. Lily isn't forgetful. She's incredibly busy with work and also takes care of the household. Her mind is always full of things to do. You're such a kind boy, Larry. If your late father were here, he definitely wouldn't have forgiven that. I really respect Lily from the bottom of my heart. So, Mom, why did you come here today? Larry's mother smiled and then slowly took out a travel brochure from her bag, opened it to a page with a post-it note, and laid it on the table. Listen, Larry, I've always wanted to go to American Falls. Won't you take me, please? my mother-in-law said excitedly, catching us off guard. Larry and I were left staring at her in surprise. She kept pushing Larry, who was clearly flustered. Come on, Larry, you agree, right? Think of it as a way to show you're a good son. Wait a minute, Mom. It's tough for me to plan a trip out of the blue like this. You can come too, Lily. Actually, I was thinking of going with Julie, but if Larry wants to join, we can make it a family trip. Julie is Larry's sister. What are you talking about? Lily is here, and I can't get time off work. Plus, isn't it strange for me to pay for a trip for you and Julie? Not strange at all. Spending money on family is a wonderful thing, don't you think, Lily? She suddenly turned to me, expecting my agreement. Even though I was shaken, I calmly expressed my opinion. Using your own money for family isn't bad, but I think it's different when you impose it on others. What do you mean by that? Are you saying I'm trying to force Larry to pay for the trip? She snapped. I didn't mean it in a harsh way, but it sounded like you wanted us to cover the costs. Lily, that's terrible. I never intended that, but now you're making me out to be the bad guy in front of Larry. I'm so shocked. That's not what I meant. I tried to explain. I just answered honestly. Okay, no need for excuses. Lily, why are you so heartless? You must not like me, do you? My mother-in-law, visibly upset, glared at me with cold eyes. This always happens when she comes over. She finds some reason to ask for money, which she and Julie end up spending quickly. Spending money on family sounds nice, but what my mother-in-law does feels more like extortion. The situation is entirely different when Larry gives them money out of kindness. No matter that they're family, I never really liked Larry's pushy mother and sister. According to Larry, they became this way after his father passed away. Larry's father died when he was in high school, and since then, they've lived as a trio. When his strict father was alive, he managed the finances. But after he passed, there was no one to stop them, and they even spent the life insurance money freely. Also, since Julie works part-time and doesn't earn much, their life is always financially strained. This is why she regularly visits our house, making excuses like life is tough or other similar reasons. I want to relax and travel somewhere, so I'll try to get money from Larry. Before marrying Larry, it seemed like he was always giving in to his mother's demands after his father passed away. He felt obligated to take care of her. But since marrying me, Larry has started to see their true nature. Even though they keep asking for money, he's been working hard to say no. That's a big step for Larry. He's also become more confident in standing up to his mother. When she says things like, "You don't like me, do you?" or "Why should I bother with an ungrateful daughter-in-law?" Larry now responds firmly. He tells her, "Just because you're my mother doesn't mean you can talk badly about Lily. She just answered your question honestly." "You're taking Lily's side?" his mom would ask. "What are you talking about?" "I think you're in the wrong here, Mom." "That's so unfair. Lily must have turned you against me. You used to be such a kind child before we got married." Larry stayed strong and said, "I'm telling you, that's not it. I'm saying this because it's how I feel." Larry's firm response shocked his mother, who wasn't used to him standing up to her. Frustrated, she bit her lower lip and said, "Fine," before leaving. After she left, Larry turned to me and said, "Lily, I'm sorry I always make you uncomfortable." "It's okay," I replied. "You stood up for us this time. Once we build our own home, we'll be farther away, and we won't have to interact with your mom as much." "Yeah, that would be a relief," Larry agreed. "If you're okay with it, I'm grateful." The place we're considering for our new home is quite far from our current apartment, making it more convenient for both our workplaces. Right now, our apartment is about 6 train stations away from Larry's family home, but the new house will be 2 times farther, and getting there would involve complex transfers. If we don't give them the address, they won't be able to find our new home. It's a good chance to create some distance from my mother-in-law. Later, we submitted our floor plan to the construction company, and they started building. 3 months later, our $850,000 dream home was completed. We managed to squeeze in some time from our busy schedules to pack for the move. A few days before moving, I got a call from my mother-in-law while I was busy packing. I put her on speaker and answered the phone. "Hello," I said. In an unusually high-pitched voice, she asked, "Lily, when are you moving? You bought a house, right? I want to live with you." She must have heard about our new home from Larry, and her sudden request left me speechless. I could hear Julie, my sister-in-law, chuckling in the background, saying, "That's great. We can make Lily work for us every day." Mom, you came up with a good idea. Do they think I can't hear them? It's obvious they plan to take advantage of our move. I can just picture them thinking they'll have an easy life with me doing all the work. Honestly, I have no intention of living with them. I thought Larry felt the same, but now that they know about the new house, are they assuming we'll all live together? The idea that Larry might be in on this with them makes me a bit worried, but there's no way I'm letting them have their way. If they think they can use me, I'll turn it around and use them instead. I told them the date of our move, and my mother-in-law and Julie said, "We'll come to the apartment in the afternoon that day. Take us with you in the car and arrange the movers for us too." Then they hung up after making their demands. Of course, I have no intention of going along with this. First, I need to check with Larry. As I was about to talk to Larry, I realized he was already standing behind me. "Larry, you were there?" "Yeah, I came to say we should take a break." "Was that Mom on the phone just now?" "Yes, I was going to talk to you about it." "Why did you tell your mother about our new home?" "It's not like that. When Mom came over last time, she saw the floor plan of our new house. She kept pestering me about it every day, so Lily, I'm really sorry." "I see. So, you don't plan to live with your mother, right?" "Of course not. After hearing that call, I'm even thinking we should cut ties with her." Larry's face showed more anger than I'd ever seen before. It was the first time I had seen him this upset. From what Larry told me, my mother-in-law had seen the layout of our new home and assumed it was a big house. She pretended to be interested and kept calling Larry, asking about the number of rooms and other details. But it seems Larry is on my side, which is a huge relief. With that, there's no problem at all. This made me determined to finally stand up to my mother-in-law. I've had enough of her trying to control everything, but that ends now. I'll make sure to handle this properly. Finally, the day of the move arrived. Larry and I had the movers come early in the morning to transport all our things. We then drove to our new home in our car. By the time we finished moving everything, it was already past 4 p.m. While taking a break, we checked our phones and saw dozens of missed calls from my mother-in-law. "She called me too," Larry said, sounding tired. Just as he said that, my mother-in-law called again. I answered, putting the phone on speaker. "Hello, Lily. Where are you? I told you I'd be at the apartment in the afternoon, didn't I?" "Yes, you did say that. So, what can I do for you?" I replied calmly. "What do you mean? What can I do for you?" "You didn't arrange for the movers. I've been waiting at home, and not a single truck has shown up. So, I had to go to your apartment myself." "Is that so? Well, that's too bad," I responded coolly. "But I didn't arrange for any movers." "What? That's not the agreement." "Where is your new house?" she demanded. "Do you really think I'd tell you that?" I said clearly, hearing her gasp in disbelief. She probably thought that as long as Larry was involved, she could always get her way. But Larry is different now. He's on my side, determined to cut off the unhealthy ties with his family. Feeling the need to release all my pent-up emotions, I spoke firmly. "Just so you know, neither Larry nor I have any intention of living with you two. From now on, Please stay out of our lives. What are you saying? Your opinion doesn't matter. It's up to Larry to decide. At least tell me where the new house is right now, she insisted. Huh. And how exactly are you planning to get here without even knowing the address? This house is in my name, and I have the right to decide who lives here. If you two try to show up uninvited, it's trespassing, and I will not hesitate to take legal action, I stated firmly. Trespassing? How rude of you to say that about your husband's family, she snapped. At that point, Larry spoke up, his voice cold and firm. Family? My father, who is a true family member, is already gone, isn't he? What are you saying, Larry? She asked, sounding shocked. After hearing that last phone call, I'm done with both of you. Just being related to you by blood is embarrassing. From now on, my family is only Lily and me. I no longer consider you two as my family. Wait, Larry. Don't say such things, she pleaded. Don't bother us again. Got it, Larry said, hanging up without waiting for her reply. He then quickly blocked her number on his phone. Hey Larry, are you really okay with this? I asked, concerned. Yeah, he replied with a sense of finality. I finally realized that Mom was just using me for her own benefit. I feel completely relieved now. Larry truly looked refreshed, and I could see that he meant every word he said. That's how we, as a couple, finally managed to cut off the toxic ties with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. Afterward, they had to drastically change their lifestyle since Larry stopped supporting them financially. Without any contact with Larry, they lost their safety net. My sister-in-law's part-time job wasn't enough to cover their expenses, and my mother-in-law, who had been a housewife for so long, had to start working part-time as well. She wasn't used to the work environment, and her inexperience often made her clumsy and unpopular at her job. Meanwhile, Larry and I are enjoying a peaceful life in our new home, free from the stress of sudden visits from my mother-in-law. Our home is finally a place where we can relax and be ourselves. I'm endlessly grateful to Larry for believing in me and for having the courage to cut ties with his toxic relatives. I know we might face challenges in the future, but I trust Larry completely. We will support each other no matter what comes our way and continue to walk through life together, stronger and closer than ever.